Tonight, we have the Premier League 2000 tier list. Yes, we are nostalgia merchants. We're going to reminisce about the 2000 strikers. We'll be going through them and putting them in a tier list, so get ready for that. And we're also going to be talking about the Premier League season so far. Who's your favourite team? Who's your worst team? Who's your biggest shock? Who's the worst signing? Who's been the most impressive signing? Who has impressed you so far this season? Best game, whatever. We're going to get into it. We'll be get in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Before we get there, you've got time to get a cup of tea, a little drink. Let's go. The tension is building as Steve is in the background. Microphone a little bit dodgy. We are waiting to see if it's going to work. Drum roll, please. Come on, Steve. Enter the room. What have we got?
Hello.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, could have a problem with my new pad. So that could have a problem.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like,
we've got to be...
Sorry, if you could sorry about this, people.
No, there's a delay on that still. The delays I can deal with, but it's still choppy. That's the thing. We've got some sound engineers in the background. Let us know if you can hear any difference in the background in the comment section as well. Before we start, if you are new to the show, press that like and subscribe button. If you are a regular, press that like. If you're watching on Twitter, press that retweet. Get involved in the comment section as well. And don't be afraid to jump into YouTube as well and come over on the other side and join us in the comment section. I'm joined by Garth. How you doing, Garth?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. The Premier League season started. It's the interlull, which is a little bit boring. But Arsenal sit at the top at that interlull. So I'll take that for now. It's only a 1 point ahead, so we're not getting ahead of ourselves. However, it is a step in the right direction. Man United finishing there. Well, before the interlull, what was your last score? I think that was a win.
We're on a one-match winning streak, mate.
You're one match winning streak. Unbelievable, mate. United Strand has got the Clippers at the ready.
No defeat in 12 days, mate. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. 9
That's
days.
got to be a Ruben Amorim record, isn't it?
It's got to be close, mate. It's got to be close. Although I will say this. He ain't no Arne Slot, mate. He's never lost 3 on the bounce. You remember, he is a Premier League champion, so we can't have any bad words said about Arne Slot. We're going to be talking about your Premier League season so far. So get your comments in, get involved, get in the comment section and let us know what you think as we start going through these. Steve is in the background. Hopefully, we'll be able to join us in a bit, but we're going to get started now. He sent him the link. He needs the link.
Oh, he needs the link. Oh, we're doing this mid-show. This is
live TV, people.
Waltz and all. Right now, it's just waltz. I forget to take over now. The Premier League so far. Well, not Premier. Yeah, Premier League so far. Who's been so far? Let's go.
Who's been the best? I mean, Arsenal, obviously. It pains me to say it. Outstanding so far. Looked a little bit dicey with the 1-0 defeat to Liverpool. There was a lot of questions. I thought premature, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, did you think that was a bit over the top at the time, or did you think it was a fair
over the top? Yeah. Look, listen, you did a video earlier about. I saw it about on TikTok. Make sure people go and have a look at Kier's TikTok. But it was AFTV or DR Sports doing is Man United's banter era worse than Arsenal's banter era? And the fact that people were going so overboard with a 1-0 defeat to Liverpool with what was a world-class free kick. Let's not get it, you know what I mean? That was a draw all day apart from a world-class free kick. Just shows that your banner era, it was so damaging to your club that people are ready to jump on anything.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely anything at any point. So yeah, it's well overboard. I was one of the people who thought that Arteta started the game far too pragmatically against Man City. Mm-hmm. I thought it was far too defensive-minded. I thought it showed a lack of faith, the wrong word for it. My vocabulary is not good enough. So it was like trepidatious. Like he didn't put all his players, all his pieces on the ball to go and win that game in that first half. He didn't. There's no two ways about it. He set up to block Man City's attacking prowess. Look, and Man City are still Man City at the end of the day, so I understand it. This tactic has worked for the last 3 years for him against the top 6 teams. He's not lost apart from the Liverpool game. So I do understand where it's coming from, but I thought it was, I thought it was a little, like, I heard people throwing around the word coward. I heard people throwing around the word, there's no way you're going to win the league under Arteta, unless you change it. But listen, the mark of a good manager is seeing something that isn't working or isn't doing the best he can do and change it. He changed it at half time. He brought Eze on. He brought Saka, was it, as well on? It wasn't it, at half time against Man City? Yeah. And you pulled the game back. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be.
You can't be digging him out for the starting lineup that you had, and then digging him out for making changes because you're admitting that you made a mistake. And it's like they want to keep on like burying.
That was the Martinelli goal, wasn't it? Which was an absolute delicious goal as well. And for 45 minutes, you're all over him. You should, in fairness, you probably could have won that game. Probably should have won that game. It was some good saves, some good defending. Man City didn't lay a glove on you in that second half, if I remember correctly. So, look, Arsenal started flying. They're like goal difference. I'm just having a look at it now. Goal difference plus 11 after 7 games. That's impressive. You know what I mean? 7 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat, and the defeat and draw against Man City and Liverpool. We're still talking about Man City and Liverpool here. I know they've both got their problems.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, look, I don't think with the fixture list you had, I don't think that Arteta would have been thinking of anything more than 16 points at this stage, 7 games in.
I think so. I think it's realistic. And I think realistic Arsenal fans, there's always going to be the Arsenal fan out there who's going to go, we're going to be champions. You've got to win every game. Well, it's not how it works. But I think realistic fans would have looked at 13 points and been like, do you know what? Before we played any of them and gone, do you know, I'll take that. I'm sure they would have liked maybe the 14 to 14, 15.
They did 16.
15, 16. 16.
You're on 16.
Oh, we're on 16. We're on 16?
Yeah, 16.
Oh, yeah.
16 points after 7 games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you've only dropped 4 points, ain't you? It's 4 points you've dropped at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So 5 points. Just like, that's what I mean. And no one's expecting you to have 21 points after 7 games. No one sensible in their right mind. Obviously, it can happen, but Liverpool, Man City still at the end of the day. Plus, you had Man United at Old Trafford, which is still, listen, we're a joker team at the moment, but it's still Manchester United at Old Trafford. That's a tough game.
That's what I think was annoying at the start of the season. That I think we're not looking for validation or credit from other teams, but I felt like within our own fan base, it was annoying because, as always, a lot of people think on like their current form, and that's all they want to think about. It don't matter if you're playing Liverpool and they've been poor. They go, well, Liverpool have been poor. They've been poor, so we've got to beat them. Man United are rubbish at the moment, so we've got to beat them. Well, but it's still Manchester United. It's still at Old Trafford. It's different. There's history between the clubs. And yes, players will step up. Players will turn up for them games. If you listen to pundits, ex-pros, they're saying the problem is with some of these teams is their players aren't getting up for the games they should be winning. The Fulhams, the Brentfords, the Sun, they're the ones they're not getting up for. Yes, they're getting up for the Liverpools and Arsenals, but that's not your bread and butter week in, week out. You need to start getting up because everyone should be getting up for those big games because that's what as a player that you want. So yeah, it was frustrating hearing the discourse on wins over analysis. Like prime example, I think as football fans, we are like this at football. Like we're watching the game like this. Every touch, every second, every movement, we're watching it, analysing it. Take a step back sometimes. Like it's still early doors in the Premier League. It's the same as when I see Liverpool fans losing the plot after the lead that they had has been reduced to now they're 1 point behind. And it's like, calm down. It's 7 games in. There's plenty of games to go. And you've not got to overanalyze everything. Just take it. Get the 3 points, take the 3 points and keep it moving. Nothing has to be broken down and getting into the reeds of it. Steve, drum roll. The tension is building. How you doing?
It's powerful.
I'm good, mate. You?
He's back. Steve is in the building. Unbelievable work. It looks like he's changed his laptop, everything.
I've been swapping and changing the earphones that way and Yeah.
He's
All my
back.
notes
So,
are out the window. Yeah.
we're doing so. We started off with season so far. Obviously, the first one is best team so far. Team of the season so far, Steve.
Team of the season so far. Well, there's been a lot of impressive starts, but yeah, I mean, you can't really look too much further than Arsenal at the moment, can you? Really? I mean, it's taking the bias. I mean, I'd love to, as we do on this show, shout out to some of the smaller teams that have had good starts. Like Palace and Sunderland and Everton, who I think have looked good, and a few others, but. Yeah, I mean, I think even the most ardent of rivals, would have to say that Arsenal have had the best start. Even if you take away the fact that they're top of the league, I think they've looked strong. They've got their players are performing well. I don't think there's one player that you could say needs to step up a gear. Okay, look, the new signings, may have to, but even those have performed pretty well, and we always have to give a little bit of leeway for new signings. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's Arsenal, and you can't. I don't think anyone would. I think you'd be very, very bitter, or the most ardent Arsenal acer to say that it's anybody else. But yeah, they're performing well. It's just really, for me, it was just the Liverpool game, which Arteta likes to play a certain way when he plays these big teams. He's done it since he's come to the club. He plays to have not to lose, and I don't think the pundits, the people on the podcast and shout and bawl and say that they don't like it and they should attack more and they should take off the handbrake. I think he's going to play that way all the time. He's not going to listen to them. So, but it's all been said before. He plays the right team that he feels, he's either going to win the match or sometimes when you go to places like Anfield, not lose it. And that's the way he looks at it. But yeah, I think, yeah, go on, mate.
So, do you feel like he will or should take a different approach going forward?
Not really. I don't know. We look back in the past, and I look at other teams, and I mean, Garth will definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I will. I'll state Chelsea. When they played the big teams, it was always looked as a masterclass from Mourinho. It's a masterclass. It always seems that other clubs can do things, but when Arsenal do it's not allowed or it's wrong. Which again, people might say, "Oh, yeah, you're an Arsenal fan. You're just saying that." I really don't think it is. It seems to think that we can't do it. Everything that we do is other teams are allowed, or it gets highlighted. And I think Manchester United were a bit like that. I can remember plenty 1-0s. They used to score a goal. There was certain Man United teams, during their dominance that would go out and absolutely hammer teams 4-5-0, like we did in 22-23. But there was other teams where it suited them to, be more Mourinho-ish, pass the ball about, take their time, keep possession, look for the space. Because I think what Arsenal do, or not so much what they do, but what they do now, they wear teams down with the way they play. And I think that was, evident when we played Newcastle. They literally wore them down, where it was like, in the end, they was like on their knees. It was sometimes when you pass and move, you pass and move, you pass and move and pass and move. Yeah, it don't look great if you're co-commentating on Sky Sports or if you're a neutral. It don't look great. Come and do it. But if it's going to win you football matches, it's going to beat teams like Newcastle. Then I'm totally fine with it. I was one of the people that was a bit raise your eyebrows when it came to taking your handbrake off at Man City. when we played Man City at home, I didn't feel it was like that at all. He was saying that the setup was wrong and it should be more attacking. I've stated many people, and people haven't come back with me with an answer yet. But apart from the Eze Mourinho sort of thing where he played Mourinho and people saying he played Eze, that was the same team that hammered Man City 5-1, or the same setup that hammered Man City 5-1 the season before.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me that one change is going to make a whole bit of difference now all of a sudden that handbrake's gone? The guy scored an hat-trick 3 days before, and the guy scored a goal against Newcastle that went us on to win the game. You know, the guy's not a defensive thing. I'd never.
That Mourinho defensive midfielder is actually.
I don't get it.
Really not a defensive midfielder. Like,
no.
His best. He's probably played his best football as a striker. Crazy.
Yeah, 9 goals last year, wasn't it? 9 goals in some.
Yeah. So game? What I would say on the Liverpool and Man City games. We've spoken about it previously. The Liverpool game, I still stand. I think the lineup was incorrect. I don't necessarily think the approach was incorrect. Because I think it's still Anfield. Like this is Anfield. This is not anywhere else. It's Anfield. What I would say with the Man City one, I think that Mikel Arteta is a big thinker. And he analyzes games. Each individual game is a different team or a different setup or whatever. Yeah, I think he's gone into the Man City game thinking that Man City are going to come at Arsenal more, and that's why I think he's set up in the way he has to either contain the game, and then when it gets to about 40, 50, 60 minutes, then we start to attack.
Do you think Pep shocked him, mate? Sorry to interrupt.
I think
he shocked him because Pep said after the game, didn't he? He said, "We can't do that against Arsenal no more. We can't go at them. They destroy us."
And I think that's probably what happened last season with the 5-1. This was the setup. They came at us. We spanked them. And I think that the approach from Pep completely changed the game. And then the goal that went in early meant that the setup that he had, you didn't really get to see what he was trying to gain, what he was trying to go for against this Pep team. I think with that in mind, that's why I asked you, do you think going forward the approach will be different or should be different? I think the approach should be different. I'm not including the Anfield game, the game at Anfield. That's different. That's different. I'm with the Jose Mourinho life on that one. It's we can get a win here, but coming out of a draw at Anfield is not the end of the world and should not be looked down upon.
So when you said going forward, you're sort of meaning the now, but in the past, it hasn't been the wrong thing to do in the past, but now because of the sort of the way the momentum's changing or things are changing, and Arsenal are undoubtedly stronger than what Man City are. Well, not undoubtedly. You can't say undoubtedly. For all we know, Man City.
Well, they're stronger than what they were last season, and they're stronger than they have been in years. So
I hear that.
Home is where we should be taking it to Man City. That's what I think. At home, same if Liverpool come to the Emirates. That's where we should be taking it to Liverpool. I think it's slightly different when you're playing it at the away ground of the big teams. To go to there and try and go toe to toe with them, I'm still a little bit tentative. I'm still a little bit. Yeah, we progressed, but
you felt the handbrake was on them, did you? Like at Man City, because the team line-up didn't suggest that to me.
I don't like the term handbrake on. I think it's just it's an approach you're taking to the game. I don't think it's a case of because anywhere else it's a tactical move. It's a tactical. It's the tactics. Like I don't know if that's playing with the handbrake on. I don't know. I feel like someone said it and it's stuck with someone, and that's the narrative now. Arsenal playing with but this is Arsenal playing with the handbrake on every game outside the Leeds and Nottingham Forest game, and I don't think that was the case either. I really don't. So
on the flip side of that, just quickly, I wouldn't say we had the handbrake on when we went 2-0 up at Anfield a couple of years ago. I want to say we had the handbrake on last season when we got a player sent off. We was 2-0 or 2-1. Was it 2-0 up against Man City? Was it 2-1 up against Man City? That wasn't. Those two games didn't come across as having the handbrake on away from home against those two teams that we get accused of.
No, but they went
against
us. So that's the difference. In those games, they went at us. This season, both Liverpool and Man City didn't even come at us.
Yeah,
Man City scored their goal on the break.
Yeah,
after the first 8 minutes of us, we were quite on top of it. And Liverpool, it was like a boxing match. They're both like two heavyweight boxers, and they don't really want to get too close to each other. They're trying to size each other up, just circling each other for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I think Liverpool were afraid. I think Liverpool were maybe not afraid. They've got a great team, but there was a fear there in that Liverpool team that we haven't seen for a long while when they played Arsenal at Anfield, and I think that's why the game panned out as it did.
Yeah, well, then maybe that's for Arteta to see that a bit earlier and then make that. Okay, we're going to take the emphasis here now. Now that we've sized you up and you ain't coming at us, we're going to take you on because many people say now we've got the defense. Let's trust the forwards to see what they can do. All right, I don't want to dwell on this one too much, otherwise.
Wait, where'd he go?
No, he's crashed out.
It's all going on tonight, mate. It's all going on.
Oh, he's back. He's back. There we go.
There's gremlins about tonight. It's not Halloween yet.
So obviously we've done the most impressive. What team has been the least impressive so far, Garth?
Oh, West Ham or Forest. It's going to be in it.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Forest, I mean, they're deserving everything they get with
Nuno.
Yeah. Yeah, I think West Ham or Forest. If you like, I'd love to put Man United in there, but it's not too bad at the moment. Yeah, 10th, sitting in 10th, top half of the table. You know what I mean? So yeah, Forest, West Ham, Newcastle haven't set the world like they're in the same situation as Man United, ain't they? Really sitting in that mid-table, expecting more from Newcastle. To be fair, with what Forest did last year, I'm going to say it's Forest. Forest for me the most disappointing so far, sitting 1 point above relegation, no wins in 6, is it, or 5? Yeah, they won on the first game of the season.
4 losses.
Yeah. So no wins in 6, and Big Ange doing what Big Ange does well. You know what I mean? Just wrecking a football club. So
before we ask Steve the same question, Big Ange, what was your thoughts on that appointment?
Madness. That's like madness. Like, I mean, it's madness. Look what he did with Spurs. We've got a far better squad than Nottingham Forest have. You know what I mean? So madness. Yeah, there's nothing else to it. The Marcinakis is. I mean, I better be careful what I say because you might see me getting dragged out of my house and beaten.
You might see a video saying, "Yes, Mr. Marcinakis has been."
Mr. Marcinakis is actually the best chairman in all of world football. Yeah, he's one of the best chairmen in all of world football. But no, madness. Listen, to disrupt a manager in full flow like I did with Nuno there, crazy because he was doing bits for Forest and look what they are. So yeah, Forest for me, just because of what they did last year, and then I mean it's West Ham and Wolves both just fighting out down the bottom like rubbish clubs that they are. So but Forest for me, mate, definitely Forest. But yeah, Ange, crazy. I mean, can you put any rhyme or reason to it? Who else was out there at the time, just off the top of your head? Who was knocking about?
Anybody.
Actually, the manager who I rate the least of all managers for the last 15, 20 years, maybe. It's that crazy. Like I think he's so overrated. It blows my mind that he's even anywhere near the Premier League. It's blown me away. Literally, within about 5 games of being a Tottenham, I was like, your cards are marked, buddy. And that Chelsea game was it for me. And then people try and tell me it's a breath of fresh air. You don't know. You don't understand. We had Mourinho and Conte. What? Excuse me? What? Like you say, like a bad thing. You're Tottenham.
Is
You're
it cheap?
Conte.
Is that what it comes down to for Marinakis? Is it cheap, maybe? Because I was just thinking, like, yeah, maybe you could have gone and got one of the up-and-comings from the Championship, and Michael Carrick, maybe. You know what I mean? Southgate's knocking about.
Yeah. Southgate would be a great shout. I think they've looked at the fact that he's won the Europa League. That's what I think it boils down to. He won the Europa League.
That's poor. That's poor thinking.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And the reason why I say that is because a Nottingham Forest fan, and they was asked about the Nuno departure, and their response was, "Well, it was coming because he's brought it upon himself." And I was quite surprised by that. But then I heard what he'd said, so I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I do get that." But it didn't seem like it felt like they were on the side of Mr. Marinakis. It firmly felt like that. And then when they was talking about the Ange appointment, the general consensus felt like they were excited to see Nottingham Forest play some attacking football, and they brought in a man who won the Europa League. Like that's what it was. There was only like 2 people on this podcast, and I was a bit like,
yeah.
serious? Like what? Like, go and take Unai Emery or something. Like don't. There's managers that have won the Europa League that are at clubs which are you'll be able to give them a bigger wage. You'll be in the Premier League football. Like and you put in Ange Postecoglou to Tottenham, who have 2 top class centre backs in their team, to 17th in the league. Awful.
It was a poor bit of thinking from if it was him Marinakis to bring him in,
or was it Edu Gaspar?
I mean, it was really poor. I mean, I see someone say that Nottingham Forest are not going to win the league. They're a cup team, and they can win the cups. And
they're going to win that in the Championship?
He could do that. You've just took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry.
No, it's great, mate. When people do that because we're on the same wave, we're on the same wavelength. Because the Newcastle for me are one of them teams that I don't know if you agree. I look at them and I'm thinking, you could finish 8th one year, and in 2 years' time you could be in the Championship. That's where you are. For me. That's how I look at you, and you're that type of team where you could go down. We've seen it before happen many times. Yeah, we've seen it with Villa. Would have been up there, or Newcastle would have been up middle table. 2 years' time, they're in the Championship. And if you're Marinakis, you're supposed to be an intelligent businessman, right? And you've looked at Postecoglou, and you want your club to progress. Then, for me, that's bad because I'd be thinking of the future in 2 years' time and where he could end up putting you. You've only got to look at Spurs and what they did, where he took them last season with better players. Than what the Forest have got, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think it's poor.
I looked at that game because it was his first game in charge against Arsenal, and I was a little bit worried about the fact that it's still a Nuno mindset, but then has Ange Postecoglou. So I felt, this could be a bit of a decent balance for them. Nope. Within 10 minutes, I was like, nope. This is. He's like, I haven't been able to get my hands on the team properly, so we're not going to make too many changes. Well, you did enough. You did enough to make them shit. Like, you did enough to make them piss poor, mate. Like, terrible. Not surprised. So you reap what you sow. Steve, who have you got as your biggest disappointment so far this season?
Biggest disappointment so far, I think. Garth sort of named them, but I think if I have to pick one out of the number that's we've already been mentioned, I think it's got to be West Ham. I think for the size of the club, they're in London, and for the players that they've got, which they haven't got a bad team, they should be much higher. And I think last week, if Wolves would have got a better result than what they did, they would have been bottom of the league. So that sort of nails it for me. That they've had an absolutely awful start, and they've had an awful window. We did a show a few weeks ago, or just after the window was closed, and we were saying who's had the worst window. And we can look back. I don't think any of us mentioned West Ham. And did we? Well, I don't think I said West Ham myself then. Were the worst, but they are undoubtedly the worst. window
Yeah.
without any shadow of a doubt. They had a terrible window,
Yeah.
and it's showing. They need players bad, but yeah, it's not. You know, obviously, I know a lot of West Ham fans, and they're not happy, and they want changes. But yeah, hopefully Nuno, you know, will come in and he'll do something. So he should keep them up. But yeah, they're in an awful state. You know, it doesn't seem like the players want to go to them, which is terrible for a club the size of West Ham and a stadium. Well, I say a stadium. It's not even a football stadium. So really, I can understand players not really want to go and play there. You know, it's not a great place to play football. I've been there a few times, and it's watch football, and it's like, woof, it's not got a great atmosphere at all. You know, I've been Upton Park many a days back in the day, and it's like chalk and cheese. There's a lot going wrong at West Ham at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, if we was doing a relegation thing, I think they'd probably be in it.
And when you look at the signings they've made this summer, it wouldn't, if they were to go down, it wouldn't be an absolute shock. Mateus Fernandes from Southampton, Jean-Claude Todibo from Nice. Did they have him on loan last season?
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Diouf, centre midfielder from Slavia Prague. Mans Henderson from Leicester. Like Magassa from Monaco. Free transfer of Kyle Walker-Peters. Free transfer of Callum Wilson. Julio from on loan from Brighton. Like, this is not a team of West Ham stature. This is not the kind of transfer window you'd be expecting.
James Ward-Prowse can't even get in the squad. How's that? Work that one out.
Yeah, he's.
How can he look? And Nuno said, I just couldn't get him in with that lot.
It was a big issue. It's a big issue for him, their goalkeeper. That Hermansen that they've brought in looks not good. Obviously, Fabianski's 41, I think he is now, isn't he? So, like, you can't really expect him to be doing the works. And a geezer I thought was good, that Alfonso Areola, just not ever like took the step up. Like when he was a kid, that kid was like, he was top quality prospect. Yeah, top quality prospect. He was like really.
I thought it was a good guy when I got him a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same here, and it just shows you that sometimes just being a top quality prospect don't mean you're going to make it as a proper pro. Like obviously, listen, he's having a career. He's playing in the Premier League at the end of the day. I'm not saying, but like I had him pegged down as being France #1. You know, like being top.
Yeah,
top
well, they got in Keylor Navas, didn't they? But I think by the time they're getting Navas, or was that Bournemouth?
It's a couple of years ago.
Yeah. But I think if he was younger, they would have maybe potentially made that a bit of a permanent signing. But not to be.
No, it's Forest. You've got Forest in your brain. You've got Forest on the brain. Yeah.
Forest.
Yeah. They're a couple of years ago as well. But look, they've got trouble with their goalkeepers. They've got trouble with their players. I think Nuno's got enough about him with the squad that they've got there to keep them up. I do. I really do. But I 100% agree with Steve. At this moment in time, it's appalling. Like they've got. It's not even an F. It's a U. Ungradable. You know what I mean? Who's
been your surprise package?
I mean, surprised is the wrong way to put it, but Bournemouth, they're ripping up considering they lost couple of key players. Yeah, key players like with their goalkeeper, with was it 3 of their back 4 that they lost over the summer? And obviously, like fair play to what's it? Iriola. Yeah. Fair play, like he's doing like absolute bitch with him, and I get why there's a lot of Man United fans that want to bring him into Man United. And if I was him, I'd stay firmly away from our club. I'd keep doing what he's doing with Bournemouth. He seems to. So yeah, Bournemouth. I think it's got to be Bournemouth, to be quite honest. Just Spurs maybe because of their turnaround. Like maybe you could throw because of their face. They finished 17th last year, and they're now right up there. But yeah, for me, Bournemouth, Palace. It's going to sound. I don't think Palace is that much of a surprise. I think we've all been talking about them for about, like they've been slowly simmering for about 12 months now. And I think we've all been talking higher things about them, and it's coming to fruition. Whether this will last past next year, that's a different matter entirely. You know what I mean? It looks like it could be one of those, you know, teams it happens, don't it? Where there's a couple of years where they're just everything works, everything comes together.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
get picked
everyone takes their manager.
Exactly. But for me, Bournemouth for me.
Steve, who's been your surprise team so far?
Yeah, but again, you know, not being guilty of keeping going with Garth all the time, but yeah, I mean, Bournemouth being where they are, and because of the players they've lost, I don't think you look farther than them. They've been brilliant, and yeah, I must admit, you know, I wasn't too sure when they'd lost their players how they'd do, but yeah, for me, you know, Bournemouth's got to be up there, and the Spurs are doing well. Like I said, again, on the tip of my lips was going to say Sunderland. They were.
Yeah,
don't you remember my surprise package right at the beginning, and you had a little snigger. I must admit, lads, you had a little snigger.
Brighton, Sunderland, I had Sunderland to stay up.
Yeah, a little snigger.
I think I had something. Do I have them going down? I don't remember now.
No, seriously.
The snigger, Steve, was because it's because of the Granit Xhaka connection. That's what that snigger was.
Yeah.
Now we go on to the best midfielder in the Premier League this year so far.
Good signing, Xhaka. Top signing.
But yes, so to me, it's not a surprise where they are, if you know what I mean. So for asking about a surprise, I'm not really a surprise, but I dare say to the people out there, it would be a surprise to them. You know, I think they got beat by Manchester United, but still Man United away at Old Trafford.
Yeah, they expect to go to Old Trafford and get the result. That'll be, you get a point from there for Sunderland, and that's a big point.
But I think like before then, I think like people were going like, oh, you know, Sunderland could. So I think that's a bit of a compliment for them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, when Arsenal went now, I was like, it's Manchester United at Old Trafford. It doesn't matter. You know, whoever goes there, there's going to be a fear. You know, to them. So yeah, I think Sunderland. I've liked whatever they've been doing. I think they've been decent. But yeah, look, Bournemouth and Palace are really impressed. I think it's a good indication. Doesn't always work like this, but you know, you look at Bournemouth, you look at the players that left. They seem to have got better. Look, we'll see what happens in 10 games' time. They might be back down again, but sometimes top players leave, and you know, sometimes it's for the best. You know, and a team all of a sudden starts to perform because you're not always sort of like, you know, looking at a one player. You know, they're not your focal point all the time. You know, with Bournemouth and the players that they've left, and similar to Crystal Palace. You know, Izzy left. You know, Elise left. And the defender left, didn't he, as well? And was it Anderson, Joachim Anderson? You know, they've lost some big players, but they look better sides. You know, so sometimes these things go the other way. Yeah. But yeah, I think West Ham worst, and I think Bournemouth's been the most impressive so far.
All right, we've got 3 more categories. We'll do 2 at the same time. Garth, who's been the most impressive signing so far and the biggest letdown so far? That's not to say their season's going to be rubbish. It's just so far. But we all know who's going to say the letdown is.
I was going to say the biggest letdown. Well, easy. We'll get into that in a minute, obviously. Most impressive. It's Jack Grealish. I think that's the easy answer here. Jack Grealish, he's turned Everton round. I'm not just saying this because you boys are sitting here. I think Eze has slotted into Arsenal so easily, so nicely. Like, I know it's a lot of money for him, but it's always hard when you've got a price tag like that on your shoulders to come in. I know there's no goals or assists yet, but he's actually been working. He's been before someone says, "Well, you just said, yeah." The very I'm going to say for worst signing of the season so far. Yes, Jack Grealish, man. I can't think of anyone else who's done more for their squad on an individual basis than Jack Grealish.
So far in 7 games. I think he's got a goal as well.
One goal. Yeah. So, yeah, for me, Jack Grealish, and yeah, I mean, it's Florian Wirtz. That's the only answer. There is no other answer here. Listen, 115 mil up front, possible 130 mil overall. Bottom line, you've got to be doing more. You have to be doing more. He's been a passenger in games so far.
Runs in the box enough.
No, mate, no.
Most
It's the
chance over pre-season included, not enough.
no, and his charity shield assists don't count either.
They
The
count.
charity assists don't count. They don't count, bro. They don't count. They don't.
Typical Man United fan.
They used to, but honestly, if you look back in the day, they were never counted as a professional game. They were not counted.
They don't.
But listen, we all know that we've spoken about it ad nauseum about him. Everyone I spoke to who knows football, who has watched him extensively, says the talent is there. There's no question about it. Steve said last week about people he'd spoken to said it's too soon for him. It's looking like it. It's looking like it because at that price, you've got to be doing more. You have to be doing more than just runs into the box, passes. Like I ain't just about numbers thing here, like goals and assists. But I've watched Liverpool 4 times this season, and he hasn't stood out for a single moment in a single minute of a single game. So yeah, for me, it's Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think that's fair. Steve, who's been your most impressive signing so far, and the biggest letdown so far? Sounds harsh, but who's been not impressive?
Well, the most impressive again, Jack Grealish has been fantastic. I was going to say, I'm a big fan. I think all of us on here are massive fans of Jack Grealish. We've always been. We've always stuck by him when others haven't. He's what you call, what the youngsters like to call now a baller. Do you know what I mean? And he is that. And yeah, we're seeing a little bit of what we see against him against Aston Villa. He's playing sort of a different role at Everton. They're giving him more license to roam a little bit. He's not always out.
His interview, he said he's been given more freedom.
Did he? Yeah. So it's good to see him do that. Coming inside to the number 10. And if there's any people will say, "Oh, he hasn't scored a goal yet," but do you know what I mean? I'm not.
He scored. He scored the other day.
He scored last game.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
1 goal, 5 goal contributions in 7 games in the Premier League.
Can't go on.
He's only scored only 1 goal and 7 assists. But
1 goal, 4.
But no, he's been brilliant. I think again, this is just off the top of my head. I think the Newcastle guy has had a steady start.
Yeah, Volta it's a good shout.
Yeah, he's been impressive.
It was a lot of money. And thought it was a bit harsh. Rimmerdigger coming out calling Newcastle idiots for signing him for that amount of money. But I like that. Do you know what I mean? I liked him I liked a bit of what with that Gabriel thing. Do you know what I mean? I like the way he spoke. I know it was against my centre half, but I like that. Do you know? I like that. Do you know what I mean? When he said, "Oh, why didn't you go down?" He said, "I ain't go down. I ain't like that." Do you know what I mean? I thought, yeah, I respect you. I'll keep my eye on you. I'd like you to do well.
Man said, "Oh,
yeah,
like a lead weight."
I'd be fuming if that was my player. If my player did that, I was like, "No, don't go down." I'd be like, "You better next time." Steve, Jack Grealish. Do you think he's done enough for an England return thus far?
Yeah.
Or does he still need to do?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd have him. Rashford. I don't rate Anthony Gordon. I can't. Look, I don't know. I don't hate many footballers, but I can't stand. and it's like I always try and take that away from when I'm sort of like analysing a player. I try to be professional, but I can't stand the little rat-faced little shithead.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Something about that bloke. Look at his face, and I'm like, what?
I said the same thing a couple of weeks ago. Honestly,
what is it?
I don't understand why people rate him so highly. He winds me up. But yeah. So you get him out of England, is what you're saying. You get him out, put Grealish in.
Yeah, but just because I don't like him. But no, he doesn't do things for me. I'd rather have a Jack Grealish on there. I'd rather have a Rashford. He's Ezzy, but Ezzy's a bit of a complaint in a number of positions. But Anthony Gordon, he's just one of these players who just stays out on that left wing and that's it. And he sucks the touchline. and yeah, he's just annoying. Really.
I do think he's massively overrated.
Yeah,
massively.
I think one player as well who's done well.
Fell off my chair. Like, crazy. Quickly.
I think Kudus as well. I think Kudus, to be fair to him, had a decent start for Spurs.
Yeah, no, he has.
He's been decent. You know, I've watched him a few times, and you can tell he's got a bit about him. Again, he's one of these players. He's not one of my favourite players, but I have to take away the hate part of it.
Yeah, no, the thing is, it wasn't his ability that was in question, really. I think it's his temperament and his attitude when things don't go his way. And I think we heard a lot of that coming out of West Ham. It was like, yes, when he's on it, but there's a lot of time when he's not, and he seems to turn up in games against the big teams, and it's like, come on, mate.
He doesn't think, yeah. But Gordon, I'll tell you the little thing. I hate the Gordon so much. This is a true story. I was playing a football game the other day, and he scored against me in a computer game, and I hated that he scored against me. You think that's a true story? I was annoyed that he was him. I wanted to go through the phone and grab him, and he's like he's actual computer. I can't stand it.
Right, quickly, one word answer. Who's your player to watch from what you've seen so far?
Oh, Verts. Go Verts as well. I agree with Garth.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be Verts, ain't it? Yeah. Let's see. What's your player to watch, mate? Because you get to take our leftovers.
What, mate?
Player to watch for the rest of the season to look out for.
Oh God!
You've seen so far, and you're impressed. It doesn't have to be a new name; it could be a name we've heard before. But who's your player to watch?
Oh dear. You got me. You might have to take this one on, Garth.
So they've been put on the spot there. Adam Wharton is up there, obviously. Like, it looks like he's going from strength to strength. I didn't rate him very highly to begin with. And he's going in on leaps and bounds, only 21. I mean, yeah, it looks like sky's the limit for him. From a Man United point of view,
Elliot Anderson's a good
one. Yeah, solely from a Man United point of view, I'm beginning to see what people are talking about Benjamin Sesko, and I'm starting to get excited. So, but that Man United need to do a lot more than just he starts getting better. But yeah, Adam Wharton, it's got to be really. And listen, and those most impressive as well. But Jack Grealish, if he can continue what he's done in these first 7 games. An absolute all-timer.
So I was thinking, I was trying to mute the backgrounds because there's feedback coming up, and I just muted you. I was like, it's worked.
But yeah, Jack Grealish, if he's doing what he's doing, then like he keeps going. You're talking about an all-timer season. You really are.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Adam Wharton is definitely one to be keeping an eye on. Looks really, really good. Little bit of Arsenal bias for me, Martin Zubimendi. I think he's gone a little bit under radar, although he's got like 2 man of the matches or a man of the match at least.
We knew what happened though, didn't we? You said this at the start of the season.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
He won't get spoken about, but it will be the end of the season when you look back and you'll be like, do you know what?
Yeah,
that's the man. The engine, not the engine. Sorry, the locksmith. He's the one that's unlocking all of the angles, so on and so forth.
He really does dictate the pace really well. He reads the game. He's like a composer. It's like you've got, and he complements Martin Ødegaard as well. It's not a case of he's taking things off him. He's helping him out. It takes that burden off of having to drop in so deep, start off things from deep. He can stay up a little bit higher. So it took a couple of games for Martin Ødegaard to get used to it because he was sort of still staying in his position. But now I think since then, when you've seen him come back in the halves that you've seen him play, his movement across the pitch has been a lot better. And I've got to give a shout out to Semenyo. He's a player come from Bristol Rovers or Bristol City, and he's one of the best forwards in the Premier League. So fair play to him. He's been consistent over the last few seasons, and he's keeping it up now. And he's 3 goals so far this season. He absolutely boshed it against Liverpool. So yeah, really, really, really good start to the season. All right,
I didn't realise he's a London lad. I did not realise that Semenyo is a London boy, like proper London boy and all. Chelsea, fair play. Yeah, fair play.
All right, right, let's get onto the tier list. This is now time for the nostalgia merchants to eat. Because we have the naughties tier list. I thought this is a list of players I played with. Here's one. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought I was talking to someone in the room. I thought I was on mute. If you're thinking of who that was, it was Kevin Phillips. I played a charity match with Kevin Phillips. He still got it. Still a top player. I did get man of the match though, so just throwing that one out.
Steve, you do what I'm doing, man. I'm looking for my spectacles. I can't find them. I think they're too small.
All right. Let's start off. We can't be spending too long on this because otherwise we'll be finishing off at 10 o'clock because I know what we're like. Yeah. Giving detailed descriptions of what we felt about each game we watched these players in. But yeah, this is already bringing back memories so far. First and foremost, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. He came into the Premier League from Portuguese clubs. Was that Boa Vista he came from? And essentially set the league on fire. 16 goals in 33 games in the Premier League. In all competitions, what was it? 22 goals in 35 games, 36 games. Great start to his Premier League campaign. And obviously went away, which was quite surprising after his second season. It was well shot. It was well shot time.
You didn't see it back then. Go back to Spain, or go to Spain, then come back to the Premier League afterwards. You didn't see it happen very often, like you do.
No, now, and he went to Atletico Madrid as well, which was a solid team at the time. He scored 34 games, 24 goals, and 3 assists in the Liga for Atletico Madrid. And then out of nowhere, he came back with Chelsea, and he absolutely boshed it again. 23 goals in 35 games, 23 goals in 35 games the following season as well. Consistent, powerful shot, strong, quality player. Where would you put him in the tier list, Garth?
I mean, we're starting big. A couple of other things. Jimmy Floyd spent 249 in 591 total. That's a good record. Also, 6 seasons straight scoring plus 20 in all competitions. Like, you can't argue that. So I've got him as a B. Knowing what's on this list, I've got him at a B level. And listen, A, B, C, D, these are all bangers. Like, it's just on the
there's no relegation. There's no bang average. There's no overrated or mid. We don't do that Gen Z chatting here.
Yeah. There's no bargain basement here, lads.
It's the reason why we're doing it. We're trying to educate you kids out there, yeah? Trying to educate you kids, yeah? You try and tell me the players that we talk about now, we talk about from then, are mid in comparison to these players. These strikers all played at the same time. I'm pretty sure they all played at the same time.
Having said that, thinking it, looking through, it's C for me. Because now I've said all that, it's C because of some of the names that are coming up. So, yeah, but I don't know where other people are putting him.
Yeah, looking at all these players, I'm pretty sure they all played at the same time. So
yeah,
you don't have. Go on.
That's just all of these players. They're not in their primes in 2000, but every one of these players was playing top-level professional football and properly, like games. Like, they're not just youth players or anything in 2000.
Yeah. You don't have that. You don't have that amount of quality across the board. So Garth has put Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in C. Steve, where would you put Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in this list?
Yeah, I mean he's got to be way up there. I think from my when I was looking at him today to see what he'd done, I think from 2000 to 2005, I think he got something like 50 goals, which was good. You know, he was high up in the ratings. But yeah, I agree with Garth. I'd also put him in the C. I may change that afterwards, but I can't see any of those players you're about to get there. So it's all from your voice. So yeah, but I agree. I agree. C. I remember him coming to Highbury with that Chelsea team, and he was a top player. If he was around now, yeah, I mean you're looking at one of the best midfielders, probably ones in Europe. But this is the type of level we're talking about. These players that we're talking about now. But yeah, I'd go C.
All right. How much do you think it'd be worth now, Steve?
It'd be up there if you're looking at the players and what they're going for now. If you're looking at Yorikis and Seskos and Vortamades, if you're looking at that, he's got to be 100 million, isn't he? And that's in level C.
Yeah, crazy. Garth. Next up, the man. Oh, hold on. No, I was a man. They called him the greatest striker in Premier League history. Some call him the greatest player in Premier League history. It is Thierry Henry.
It's the easiest one. I'm the one who calls him the greatest player in Premier League history. It's me. That's who he is. It's GOAT level. He's one of the 3 GOATs that we're only allowed, and it's unquestionable. Like, people can talk to me about Ronaldo. Look, Ronaldo's the best player. It sounds weird. Yes, he's the best player to have played in the Premier League, but he's only had 2 years smashing it up. Henry was terrifying for seasons upon seasons. It was crazy how good it was to see it go. That's all there is to it for me. Like, everything that's been said about him has been said.
Steve, where's he going to
go? So yeah, has to be in the top tier, mate. Incredible footballer. Second best Arsenal player of all time. But that was just tongue in cheek. But yeah, I mean, when I watched him probably every single home game live at Highbury. I was blessed to have a season ticket during the time he was playing for us. Watched him every week, and yeah, he just did things that I still today you don't see things people do. There's no player like him in the Premier League even now. There's not. People try and compare Salah with him, and Salah can't do the things he does.
It's not numbers and what he does, yeah, but like it's not. You're forcing it if you're trying to say that Salah is the same as good as Thierry Henry, based on the fact that he overtook him on goals and assists. No, just stop. That's not the case. I need to get some headphones. Next up, we have Mark Viduka, formerly of Celtic, Leeds. What a player Mark Viduka was. Underrated. He's not even spoken about anymore, which is crazy. Because
it's crazy.
I know how much of a fan my old man was from Mark Viduka. I think he appreciated the fact that he was a big guy, technically very good, strong, really good finish. Just a quality player, Mark Viduka. Garth, where are you putting Mark Viduka?
Oh, it's tough. He's a 509 games, 255 goals, so he's almost a 1 in 2. He's literally just shy of a 1 in 2, and he's one of the few on the list that is a 1 in 2, Mark Viduka. So he's actually got one of the best goal to game records out of everyone we're talking about here. But I've probably got him in the D category because I liked Hasselbank better. It's CD. So we'll see where Steve goes with Viduka, and I'm happy to take his lead. But I've got him in D to start with. But he is, listen, as we said, this isn't because he's rubbish. There is no rubbish tier here. As we're saying, Mark Viduka in today's money, you're talking, if Voltamade is going for 80 mil, you're talking 80 mil. So,
Mark Viduka had that unbelievable partnership with Henrik Larsson, didn't he?
Was it Larsson at Celtic? Do you know? I can't lie. I didn't really watch him at Celtic. I saw him a lot at Leeds, obviously. So I'm going on the Leeds Mark Viduka personally. So yeah, it would have been that time though. He's what 98.
Yeah,
he's in Celtic.
Yeah, it was.
So it's going to be Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, if you look everywhere it goes, it's 1 in 2. 48-40 Melbourne Knights, 84-40 Dynamo Zagreb.
And he's Australian.
Yeah, an Aussie.
Born and bred Australia as well. I thought it was like a citizenship thing, but no.
No. Fabulous player. Fabulous player. But yeah, I have him at D, so I don't know where Steve's going to go with him, but I'll follow Steve's lead on this one.
All right. Steve, where have you got Mark Viduka?
Yeah, I'm going to put same with Garth. I agree with Garth. Wouldn't put him in the same category as Jimmy Floyd. Seems unfair player for his stature to put him in D, but it's not what this is about, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of unbelievable players in the D list. But yeah, I think for me he goes in there. He was battering ram with a centre forward. There was plenty of them type around. Early 2000s. I think he became to the fore and was at his best sort of later, round about 2004, 2005, round about that time, maybe a bit before, not 2000. I might be wrong. Do you know what I mean? My stats saying is great as well.
2003.
2003. Yeah, I know it was an early 2000s, but undoubtedly, I mean, always used to, again, we talk about, around about that time, watched Arsenal all the time. He broke my heart. I remember in the game where he beat us we could have won the league, and Leeds beat us, and I think he scored with Harry Kewell getting the winner, beating us 3-2. He was part of that team, a great Leeds team at the time. I think it was just about on its way out. But yeah, Mark Viduka, top player, top goal scorer, battering around the centre forward. So I agree with Garth. Yeah, I'll put him in D.
All right. Next up, he broke Liverpool fans' heart when he moved to Real Madrid, and then once again when he moved to Manchester United and won the league with them. It's Michael Owen.
Pick this picture specifically as well. Didn't pick him in a Real Madrid shirt, or I picked him in the Man United shirt.
And when he was at his peak, when he's in his prime as a youngster, he picks him from Manchester United when he's got no knees.
When he was a league winner, Keir. When he was a league winner. When he has. Listen, I'm doing this on exactly right. I'm doing this on Michael Owen Prime. It was short, but it was phenomenal. Like, honestly, like, people, I know he's well boring. I know he talks like a bit of an idiot when he does punditry, like, and people think he rates himself. If you're Michael Owen, you're allowed to rate yourself. Yeah, you're allowed to rate yourself. Honestly, from 18 to 24, you're talking about one of the greatest youth players, like, youngsters we've ever seen in European football. He was phenomenal. I personally haven't got him in A tier. And not just because I'm talking about the Liverpool Michael Owen, Ballon d'Or winning Michael Owen. That's an A-tier striker for me. It really is. Just as we're just going, what is it? 482 games, 222 goals. Like, yeah. And remember, he played the last 6 years of his career without kneecaps. Yeah, no kneecaps basically. Yeah. So yeah, phenomenal.
And his time at Newcastle wasn't great at all, was it?
No, it weren't. I don't think it was. I think he's got like a couple of goals, and then he comes to Man United, didn't he? You know what I mean? And won the league.
Yeah, no, he's because he spoke about that on his recent podcast. I need to listen to that because it does sound like we got a bit more of interest in Michael Owen in that podcast with Rio Ferdinand. And he was just essentially saying that he had the injury at Newcastle after joining Real Madrid, and then when he was on the sidelines, the Newcastle fans were chanting, "You're a waste of money," and he just said it just ripped his heart out, and he didn't have it. He didn't have it in him, so he was just like, "Yeah, I'll shoot, I'll go and join Manchester United." So
scored a couple of important goals for Man United as well, cup finals. Yeah, Man City, exactly. And just quickly before, 89 England caps, 40 England goals. Like, he was a phenomenon when he was a youngster. So yeah, for me, A tier.
All right, Steve.
Michael Owen, another player that broke my heart. I remember we're watching in the FA Cup final against Liverpool, and we was 1-0 up, and I was there, and he scored a last-minute winner. I couldn't believe it.
Absolute robbery. Robbery.
Okay. But they did. Michael Owen. Yeah, I think I'm going to put him just because of the way. Just because, as I say, I can't see any of those players that you've got up there, so I don't really know who's coming. But I've got half an idea who is. And there's just players that me personally, I understand Garth putting him in A. I get it, but say just from a personal point of view, I'd put him in B, but I've got no qualms about him going in A, if you like. But personally, if it was my choice, I would put him in the B category.
Yeah, I can put him B. I can definitely do B, Steve, definitely as well.
Yeah, I can see A. I can see reasons why you would go in A, but it's just, yeah. If I'm talking about if the way I'm thinking about the way I worked out before the show started, what my levels were, he just missed that my level of player that I like. So yeah, I put him in B.
It's crazy to think that with all his injuries that Michael Owen got, that he did still score 223 goals and 60 assists. So, like I said, he's essentially got 1 in 2. Better than 1 in 2. It's better than 1 in 2. It is better than 1 in 2 goal contributions. Think of his career, what it would have been if he didn't have those injuries. It's frightening. The Real Madrid would have been better. I think we all, apart from Liverpool fans, I think we all wanted him to go to Real Madrid to succeed. Having an English player playing in Madrid kind of does you proud, and especially the fact that he was so exciting as a youngster. Him going there was was like a next big thing and the next big move. So I was hoping that it was gonna be a success, but unfortunately it wasn't. I think I would agree with B purely on the basis because of the injuries. And it sounds harsh, but it's because of the injuries. But I can't take away from that goal record. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And yeah, I don't think Michael Owen should be getting pelters. Yes, for his punditry, because it is not great. But when he talks about himself and bigs himself up, Neville Southall, it's time for you to sit aside on this one, mate. Michael Owen gets to boot the balls in the back of the net, whatever age that goalkeeper is, and bury his head in the dirt and tell him, "Eat that, little man."
He's the sort of geezer. If he goes in goal for a charity penalty shootout, every goal that goes in is £500. He don't let one in. You know, all these disadvantaged children rolling the ball at the net. He's like, no.
Yeah. You mean me? Yeah. Life lessons, kid. Yeah.
I can see B.
It's worth having. And this penalty would have been easy if I would have allowed it to go in. So it's not worth
having. You definitely are not eating today. You're not. Like, if you can't score it, you're obviously not that hungry. You obviously ain't that hungry.
Just the way I was brought up, mate. My dad wouldn't let me win it. So I won't let him win it. All right. Next up is Teddy Sheringham. Clutch moments, quality player. See him as maybe the second striker, especially when he joined Manchester United. At Tottenham, he was probably a bit more different than the main man. But when we went to Manchester United, he found a new role, and he found that role at England as well. Where would you stick Teddy Sheringham, Garth?
Listen, obviously one half of the greatest moment of me of being a fan. Teddy Sheringham. People obviously forget that. No, that's the other one. That's the other one, Keir. That's the other one, mate. And you know that. People forget he scored in the FA Cup final as well. So in that treble-winning season, he scored in both the FA Cup and Champions League final. But listen, Teddy, for all how good he was, it's D. On this list, it's a D for Teddy Sheringham. It has to be. C, maybe. He's one of those. I bet you anyone you like, he's a footballer's footballer in the sense that his brain, his IQ, being in the right. But let's face it, he had no pace, not really any strength. He wasn't banging them from 30 yards or anything. So on this list, Teddy is D. I think in the modern game, the way Teddy Sheringham plays, like you could see him working in the system for certain teams very, very well. The dropping deep, picking up the ball, spraying it out to the wingers, so on and so forth. And one of my formative moments as a football fan as well, Holland, 96, him and Shearer banging. I just realised Alan Shearer ain't on here. Anyway, yeah, banging. You know what it is? Was he injured? Did he have one of his leg injuries in 2000? So he didn't play all season. So he were
ACL, was it the one when he got England?
Him. But I knew that. I told you something. I forget. But yeah, it's D tier for Teddy Sheringham for me. I think Steve's nodding, so I guess it is on the same wavelength.
Oh, Teddy. You went to Man United and you're still I won't say it on air, but yeah, that was one of my first football matches. Going to see Manchester United versus Arsenal in the Charity Shield. Seeing David Beckham rapping a free kick. Teddy Sheringham get abused by Arsenal fans, but take it well. Lifted the cups in front of us. They just won the treble. And yeah, I got to say the C word in front of adults, which was quite funny as a kid. Yeah, win's a win. Steve, Teddy Sheringham, where are you sticking him?
D, mate. D. I agree. I was nodding when Garth said that he's a type of player who would fit well in today's game. Just spot on. I was actually thinking that, while Garth was talking. So, yeah. But, yeah, D, mate. D.
All right, next up, Emil Heskey. I'm going to try and blast through some of these, otherwise we'll be late. Emil Heskey.
So I was on mute. So Emil Heskey again, yeah. In this list, listen, do you know Emil Heskey is much derided, but he's a lot better than a lot of people give him credit for. He did a job. He was a phenomenal striker, especially in his younger days at Leicester. But it's D tier for Emil Heskey. It's D tier for me.
What's crazy? Teddy Sheringham got a 1 in 2 goal contributions in his career. I keep looking at his players, and it's like everyone's getting 1 in 2s, 1 in 2s, 1 in 2s. You think they've got a load?
Yeah, I wrote it out, brother. And every time you go, like, literally, you're looking through it and you're like, mate, everyone got nearly minimum 200 goals, pretty much. Like, minimum.
Teddy Sheringham, 417 games, 140 goals, and like 70 assists. Like, what? Kids ain't putting up these numbers these days. If they are, we're talking about silly money. How much is Teddy Sheringham worth these days, quickly, Garth?
Oh, I mean, again, the going rate's 70 mil for a striker, isn't it? There's no one on this list that isn't 70 mil. There is no one, minimum 70 mil. So Teddy, I'd have him at the 70 mil bracket. And can I just quickly say as well, people forget he came in to replace Eric Cantona. And every Man United fan was like, what? Who? Why? Not who, because we all knew who Teddy Sheringham was, but why? Genius of Fergie. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing when he brought in Teddy Sheringham.
I tell you what, we'll alternate. You pick one, the guy and Steve picks one. Yeah. So Garth has put Emil Heskey as D. I wouldn't complain about that. I'll be the independent adjudicator on these. And I think that's a fair shout. Emil Heskey's massively underrated. One of my, I don't know why. I really just appreciated what he did as a striker. I think I was excited at the prospect of Arsenal potentially getting him when he was at Leicester. There was a lot of talk about Arsenal being interested in Heskey. And then when he went to Liverpool, he got absolutely slated. And then you look at his first season at Liverpool, he actually, again, nearly a 1 in 2 season. And in that first season, goal contributions, I think it was. And he got absolutely ripped apart. And so
he did a good job. Later on, at England, people think about his England career and stuff, which is like 1 in 5. But he had to do a job for England. And people forget that. It wasn't like he wanted to do that job. But anyway.
Yeah. Emil Heskey in at D. Kevin Phillips, Steve, a player, like I said, someone keeps on sending me messages. A player who I played with, yes, I'm not going to tell the full story, but yeah, he still had it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with D. I agree with Emil Heskey. Just a note. Kevin Phillips. Well, I think we did the best strikers in 2000, the whole of the Premier League since he started. I think Kevin Phillips was up there with the amount of goals that he scores. His stats were ridiculous. But again, you will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was at his pomp really early, and then he started to die out as we started to get into the latter of the 2000s and things like that.
The Niall Quinn partnership, I think, was what it is.
That like early 1999, 2001, 2002, when they was like doing their thing. I might be wrong. I don't know. It just tends to ring a bell. But Kevin Phillips, taking away all that, I mean, look, he was like a fox in the box, wasn't he? But he had a little bit extra to it, you know, because he could not only do that, he was someone who could, you know, you see, he could score bangers from outside the box, and you know, he built up that excellent partnership on his own with Niall Quinn, and I think that played a big part to his career. Whether he would be good as the lone striker, like just the main guy, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to put him also, big fan of Kevin Phillips, but I'm going to put him in D as well.
Yeah, you are right. Kevin Phillips, his best season was in the 99-2000 season. I think that's when he hit his 30 goals. And yeah, from the Championship into the Premier League, 30 goals in his first season in the Premier League. Absolutely phenomenal. Very, very good striker. Very, very good finisher. I agree. He goes in the D. He is your typical old school second striker, not the AM centre what they've been now, or the forward. He's a striker, but it's the big man little man combo which we used to have, and he was the little man, the goal scorer, the nippy one, gets in between the lines, and then puts it in the back of the net. Up next. Oh, sorry, Steve. What was you saying?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot my mute. No, I was saying most of these strikers that we're talking about now are sort of like a lone striker. That, you know, they're the main guy. You know, where Phillips was one of those rare ones where he had that partnership. So, but yeah,
and I think a lot of the players from the 2000s, it was the two man up front, wasn't it? It's the 4-4-2. Up next, I don't know if you timed this or you knew I was going to do the split. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Garth.
I just noticed because I'm getting the three Man United
You
players.
are. There you are.
Yeah. Can I not bad? Listen, I know we're doing and I respect your decisions, but I think you've gone low on Kevin Phillips, lads. I really do. One of only 10 players to score 30 Premier League goals in a season. So I think you've got on a little. I would have had him in the C personally, but that's how we're doing it. Solskjaer, go, clear goat, best player to ever played in the Premier League after Thierry Henry. So no. Listen, I've got a feeling a lot of people would have Solskjaer down in D. It isn't just because I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Not D.
He's a cult. Like, it's Cantona. It used to be Giggs until he turned out he was an awful person. And Solskjaer's right up there for me, but it's not that. I've got him at C. I've got him in the Hasselbank selection. Super sub. It could be guaranteed. Like, it was at one point, it was getting silly, but like him coming off the bench to bag a goal. 529 career appearances, 282 goals overall. Is that right? Have I written that down wrong? That don't sound right now I said it. That sounds like too many. But anyway, that don't sound right. But look, for me, guaranteed to bag a goal when he comes off the bench. Wonderful player, and a great backup player to the Cole and York partnership. So for me, it's a C selection for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
First season, 33 games, 24 goal contributions. This is what he was like every season. 12 goals, 19 games. He was just the perfect option off the bench. The baby-faced assassin.
And he's always got a 1 in 2 on. He's got a better than 1 in 2 on goals, let alone assists.
Yeah.
So look, yeah.
I agree. I think C's fair. I think C's fair. Yeah, I think C's fair. I maybe would have had Mark Viduka in C, but
we can change it about. And I'm thinking that now. Like, maybe Viduka's got to go up one personally. I was thinking that a minute ago. So listen, you're judge, jury, and executioner here, so you get to do it. You know what I mean?
Go on. Steve. Next up, Paolo Di Paolo Di Canio. I was on mute and I was talking the whole time.
I wonder what's going on there. I was having like body experience for a minute. Well, what's going on? Paolo Di Canio. Oh, wasn't expecting his name to come up. Oh, Paolo Di Canio. Yeah, I mean, look, he was at West Ham. He was fantastic, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Best player. Maverick. He scored that unbelievable goal that go down one of the greatest goals in Premier League history. But for me, he goes in D. He goes in D. He's the type of player I like to, but yeah, I don't. You correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't class him as a goal scorer, a striker. I'd class him more as I don't know, coming off the left-hand side, and again, similar, a little bit of a second striker type of player as well. From memory, more used to go out wide, cut in. Yeah, for me, he goes in. He goes in C.
All right, I think six there. I see Paolo Di Canio as a little bit like Gianfranco Zola. He's like it's his second striker. He had so much more to his game. Skillful, creative. He had vision, and we got to see him at Charlton as well, which was good. Went down as a bit of a cult hero over there as well. I agree. I think Paolo Di Canio goes in the C. He did have a couple of pretty decent goal scoring seasons though. 16 goals in 16 goals, 8 assists in 99-2000. And with Sheffield Wednesday, he also had 12 goals and 4 assists in 35 games for a team that got relegated. So yeah, not bad at all. Paolo Di Canio goes
over a ref.
And he pushed over the ref,
anyway. He pushed over now. Alcock, right? He pushed over. Yeah, so he gets.
If you look back now, people are looking at the ref with a bit of a side eye there.
Well, the stumble, come on, mate. We're looking at it with a side eye then. Do you remember the outrage, though, then, with that? Do you remember the outrage? It was crazy. Yeah. It's like it shot someone. But anyway.
Yeah, and then Nigel Winterburn came to say something, and Canio turned around and was like, what? And Nigel Winterburn. Yeah.
All right, calm down, mate. Yeah. No, I think C's fair.
Up next, we have, is that Dwight York?
Dwight York. Dwight York should have won the Ballon d'Or in 1999, like in the treble season. He absolutely should have won it. Oh, so it's getting tight now because I've got him as a B. I really have Dwight York. I've got Dwight York as a B, but I've got a feeling that you and Steve will go with C. So
what it might be because I change it from a B. What would make you? What's the difference between the C and the B? What's making him go to the B?
I just think he had more about him than those 4 strikers. As in, he had more flair. He was more enjoyable to watch. Goal record not up there though. That's why I say 615 games, 100.
1 Champions League, 1 FA Cup, 2 Carabao Cup.
That 99 season, I mean, have you got it in front of you, that 99 season? Because it's an incredible season. Like, it really is.
20 goals in the Prem, 4 assists, 4 goal contributions, 11 games in the Champions League.
And it's everything else he did, man. But this is why I think Michael Owen should be an A, the more I think about it. Because, this is what I'm... But, yeah, it's going to be C. Because we've got Michael Owen in A, in B, puts Dwight York down into C because Michael Owen was better. So yeah,
does he?
Yeah, Michael Owen was phenomenal, mate. So Michael Owen was amazing. That's what I'm saying. I know later on in his career the longevity isn't there. I get that, but Michael Owen, from 18 to 24, is one of the best players in the world. Literally, he won the Ballon d'Or. Like he is in 2001, he was the best player in the world.
Okay, do you know what? We can put Michael Owen up because I think Dwight York deserves to be above these.
Yeah, I do as well. I think Dwight York's above those. So yeah, if we put Michael Owen up, then Dwight York's a B for me.
Yeah, go on. Okay, Steve.
Yes, mate.
It's Zola, Steve. It's Gianfranco Zola, mate. You've got
Gianfranco Zola. God, what a player! This is a tough one because he's not a striker, but he's one of my most favourite players.
he's a forward, though, man. He's a forward. You know what I mean? So you can put him up there.
He's a forward. Yeah, I think now Garth's done what he's done with Michael Owen. I think it makes my choice a little bit easier where I want to put him, because putting him in C, he's better than a few, I think, than those ones in C by not by a country mile, but by a little bit of a stretch, if you like. So yeah, for me, Gianfranco Zola, one of the best Premier League players you've seen. He doesn't get spoken about enough for me. Sometimes he gets overlooked. Maybe because he wasn't at Chelsea that long. I don't know. Not too sure how long it was. But an absolutely quality player. I'm going to put him. I'm going to put him in B.
Yeah, I think B's fair. Gianfranco Zola was an absolute magician. It's the reason why even once Roman Abramovich came along, Chelsea still tried to offer him an extra year, even though he had already decided to join. I want to say Perugia, one of those teams. Might be going back to Parma, but yeah, he still Chelsea decided, or Abramovich decided to turn around and try and offer, try to buy him back essentially straight away. But it wouldn't happen but Gianfranco Zola was an absolute magician. If you have any opportunity to go and watch some highlights, please do. Up next, Andy Cole, or Andrew Cole. In my eyes, one of the most underrated strikers of all time. Of all time. He still was at top 5 Premier League top goal scorers of all time, but his name is never mentioned. Never mentioned. Andrew Cole.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, he was, again, a phenomenon. Like, when he was at Newcastle before he joined Man United, yeah, he's fifth in the all-time top goal scorers. He's above Sergio Aguero. Like, up until 2 seasons ago, held the record for most goals in a Premier League season with 34, until Haaland smashed it with 36. I think he's one of the best strikers to ever play the game in the Premier League. I've got him in the A tier. I really do, but I can understand people banging him down into the B tier.
Oh no! He 100% goes A.
And such a
100% goes A.
Yeah, it does. It is. He's top 5 top Premier League goal scorers of all time. Did you know what I mean? That's what it is at the end of the day.
I need to hear what Steve's got to say about Andy Cole.
Yeah.
I've got nothing bad to say about Andy Cole. It's just like when you look at the players that are in there, Andy Cole, absolute fantastic player. When he was at his top, world class. But was he in the same tier as Michael Owen? Did he do what Michael Owen did? Did he get Andy Cole? I wish I'd seen more of him and watched him enough to sort of have a better sort of idea of where to put him. Look, I'm not going to argue with it. I'm tempted to. I'd probably sneak him in the B if it was down to me, just for the fact that, again, looking at other players that are to come. But I've got no problem at all in being in the A.
I'll give you something. Andy Cole, mate, back in the day, that's highlights of Andy Cole's goals are. It's a masterclass of watching, like the chips, the dinks, the control.
Scissors
like
kicks,
said,
the overhead
kicks. Honestly, mate, for me, he is actually the most underrated player in the Premier League. He really is. Of the history of the Premier League, he's the most underrated player. But I can. If you haven't watched him week in, week out, I can understand it. I can. But yeah, his goal record alone puts him in A for me.
Yeah, I agree. And that season you talk about where he got 34 goals, where he had that record up until he's got 34 goals, 13 assists in the Premier League alone.
Was it 13 as well? Yeah, there you go.
13 assists. Like, It's
This is before we did GC. This is long before goal contributions was a thing. We didn't even talk about assists from strikers. It was just goals, you know what I mean? So 34, so what's that? 47. You got 47 goal contributions in a season. Yeah, come on. That's crazy.
That is crazy. In the treble winning season, 28 games, 19 goals, 4 assists in the league. Did he have he had the Champions League record from Dennis Law, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he had it long, did he? Because then Rude took it pretty quickly a few years later. So, but yeah, he would have done.
Yeah. Underrated player. Steve, Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane, Tottenham, and Leeds, wasn't it? Coventry. And then he went abroad for a bit, didn't he? From memory. Yeah, look, a really good player. A really good player for Tottenham. A really good player for Leeds. Did his bit for Republic of Ireland as well. Always scored goals. But I think that there's a lot of these players that we've got here who had a lot more to their game, I think, than what Robbie Keane did. And yeah, I mean, he didn't really do it at a great level of football club, to be fair to you. Coventry, Leeds, Tottenham. But that's not to say he wasn't a good player. He had a fantastic career and scored a lot of goals. I'm going to put him in D because I look at other players like Di Canio, and I think he had so much more. Di Canio, Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank. I think Jimmy Floyd had more than Robbie Keane. Yeah, it's a D. It's the definite D for me.
Yeah, for me, Robbie Keane is the CD, DC. It's in between, so I'm not going to argue. It's fair, yeah. When I look back at his goal record, he hits the numbers overall. Tottenham he had the best time at Tottenham. Terrible time at Liverpool. Didn't know what happened there, but yeah, Tottenham and his link-up play with the players there. He was at Inter Milan for like one season, I think it was. But they had Ronaldo, Robbie Keane, and Ivan Zamorano all in one team. So one of them had to go, and it certainly wasn't going to be R9. Next up, who is that? I can't even see that.
Robbie Fowler, mate. That's Robbie Fowler.
I can't see it. Robbie Fowler. As Liverpool fans used to call him God. Yeah,
the second most underrated player. The second most underrated player in Premier League history.
You'll ever see Robbie Fowler.
Yeah. Still 9th in the all-time top Premier League goal scorers.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, mate. 9th. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Overall record of just goals. This is 590 games, 259 goals. Absolute phenomenal player. I wouldn't be abashed to put him in A, but I know what's coming. So he's on the cusp of A, B. So I'll put him in B personally for here. But Robbie Fowler in his prime at Liverpool,
with Michael Owen, remember that as well.
So he got overshadowed by Michael Owen because Michael Owen come through. But yeah. Robbie Fowler was absolutely phenomenal. And who doesn't remember his celebration, you know what I mean, of sniffing the goal line after he scored?
Whoa. I didn't know what that meant as a kid. I know he got in trouble for it.
Not in trouble. But yeah, as an AB cusp, a bit like what you were saying about Robbie Keane, like I think Michael Owen and Andy Cole are better. So I'll have him in B alongside Gianfranco and Dwight York.
Yeah, Robbie Fowler was probably the first footballer that made me cry. With a 3-minute hat trick against Arsenal.
Oh yeah, the fastest hat trick at that time and all. Yeah.
Time.
Did Cano nick that off him, or is it still the fastest hat trick of all time?
I think Robbie Keane's still the fastest. Yeah, sickening in that game. And look, Robbie Fowler was a phenomenal finisher.
Sadio Mane nicked it 2
Sadio
minutes,
Mane.
56 seconds for Southampton. Yeah, Jesus.
Um,
Anyway, sorry.
42 games, 25 goals, 8 assists in the Premier League, followed by a 28 goal season in 38 games, 18 goals, and I think that was when Michael Owens probably started to come through. Didn't get the love of the England team, which he probably deserved. Went to Leeds, didn't really do too much there. We didn't have a bad season. Basically a 1-2 season in the Premier League. Goal contributions, 12 goals, 22 games, to assists. That was when Leeds were buying up everyone, and then went to Manchester City after that. But yeah, his goal record is ridiculous.
Did he have a little stint in like India as well, or Australia or something?
Australia.
Like
It was Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, it was with Perth Glory and Northern Fury. I didn't really know it was Northern Fury, and it was the AFC. Oh yeah. Perth Glory, Northern Fury.
And he did. He went India as well. Thailand, sorry.
Oh, is it
Mung Thong Athletic or something? Mung Thong United. There you go.
Went to India.
542
goals, 200 games, 248 goals, 68 assists. Top player. So it goes in the B. Steve, Raul.
Raul. You'll have to remind me, Raul. My mind's gone a bit blank here. Raul.
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, Raul. Who did he play for in the Premier League?
No, this is all strikers. This is just Premier League. Yeah.
He went to Schalke after Real Madrid.
Yeah. So who are we talking about again?
Raul.
Yeah. I can't think of your name for a minute. Just can't think of your name. Yeah, I'm not too sure on this one, mate. I'm going to put him in D.
Yeah, Garth, jump in, Garth. This is Raul.
Steve, this is all leagues in 2000. So that's why it might be getting confused. You know Raul from Real Madrid, their all-time record appearance holder. The striker, little Spaniard. Yeah, I see where you got the confusion there, mate. Yeah, so
big fan.
Raul's all day. He's not a D, mate. He's not a D, Raul.
No, the only Raul I knew was the one you was talking about. So I was trying to think of who he played for in the Premier League, and I'm thinking,
sorry, mate. Yeah.
I'm thinking, what are they doing? Raul Jimenez or something? I think, what are going on here? What's going on? Easy, A. I don't even have to think about it. Not even think about it. The man speaks for himself. He's absolute world class striker for Real Madrid and scored bundles of goals. And yeah, look, you had to confuse the life out of me there for a minute. So yeah, I think they made a Real Madrid, or I thought it was the Premier League, but no, he goes in. He goes in A. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, all day A, Steve, 100%.
All day A. And I think I underrated him when I was a younger, and then saw once he was finished, and then went to Schalke and still bagged some absolutely ridiculous goals. I was like, maybe I didn't give him the credit I should have done. But yeah, that Raul was a legend. Patrick Kluivert. We're going to do a quick fire. Patrick Kluivert.
Yes, A tier. Patrick Kluivert.
Yeah.
Steve, Samuel Eto'o.
A.
Another player I think is underrated. Weirdly, I think he's underrated.
Underrated, proper. It's easiest one on the board. It's the easiest one on the phenomenon.
Easiest on the board. And you know what? Not underrated by anyone of our age or even 30. We're in 20. I think under that, I think they don't. I think they think we're over exaggerating how good he was.
No, they do. They do. The way it's called, the people act now like there's only one Ronaldo, Cristiano, and like no. That's why he's called Cristiano Ronaldo, because there's only one Ronaldo, and it's R9. 518 games, 352 goals, and that was when that man basically was injured for half of his life. Like
Yeah,
he
no,
was.
He was. There was pretty much a full season where his knee was just
Yeah.
always exploding, always having to take injections. Just what a player! And then when you hear other managers, who's the greatest striker of all time? Jose Mourinho still says without a doubt it's Ronaldo. Like all these managers still, and there's other players that have been around and whatever. They could say Messi and get away with it. They could say Ronaldo and get away with it, but they still say CR7, not no C9, R9,
R9. So go and watch his PSV highlights, let alone anything else. Just go and watch his PSV highlights. He's ripping up people, ripping them up. So yeah, it's the easiest one on the board, Ronaldo, for me.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as I took Ronaldo, you can have Crespo.
You talk about me again. I can have Crespo. Hernan Crespo, solid player, mate. But on this list, I'm torn between BC. He was so good at one point. Most expensive player in the world when he moved to Chelsea. B. Hernan Crespo's B.
I was going to jump in there and say he's a B. Like when we talk about his peak, Lazio, Parma, when he was really coming through, Chelsea was but before that, it was unquestionable how good he was. His partner in crime on there. I didn't. All right, next up we have Andrei Shevchenko, Steve.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Hey, we're talking about, everywhere he played. He wasn't great at Chelsea. If we're talking about Premier League, we're talking about what is at Chelsea, you're probably putting him in the C list.
But Dynamo Kiev, how good was he at Dynamo Kiev, though?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about, what was it? Was it AC Milan, was it? Or Inter Milan? And for his country, you only had to, he's one of these players that you have to watch, and probably like the younger people would you say Andrei Shevchenko, and they'd go, who, what? And the best that they'll come up with, he weren't all that at Chelsea. But if you've seen him outside of that, he was world class, one of the best strikers I'd ever seen. So just for me, again, he goes straight in the A because he's just one of my favourite players.
He was so rapid as well, Steve, in his prime. Power, rapid, finishing. Like he didn't have a flaw in his game. Shevchenko. So yeah, I agree.
And by the time he got to Chelsea, it was kind of forced because Roman wanted him. It was all about Roman Abramovich wanting him, and it was like, does he really want to be at Chelsea? No, but I'm guessing you've given him the earth and said, you blank check, you take whatever you want. Andrei Shevchenko has actually got a ridiculous goal contribution record. 704 games, 342 goals, 100 assists. Absolutely outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah, that's okay.
What a player.
Batty goal. Gabriel.
Is that that's not Chiesa? Who's that?
Oh, it's Chiesa. That is. It's Enrico Chiesa. Sorry, my eyes. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Batistuta. What a shame.
No, you've got to ahead of yourself there.
Yeah, because I love Batistuta.
Steve's got Batistuta.
Yeah. Well, it's a goat for Batistuta. I'm just letting you know now. Chiesa's C. And Chiesa was well good. Enrico Chiesa was well good.
Yeah, and he also went Chelsea as well, didn't he?
Yeah, another one that went Chelsea. Is it his son? Is that Chiesa's son at Liverpool? Is actually not his cousin or something? Yeah. So just because of this list, he's C. When we've got the players we've got in this list, but honestly, Enrico Chiesa in his prime was unbelievable player. So yeah, for me, C though.
Yeah. Steve, Batistuta, what a player. broke Jamaican hearts in the '98 World Cup and Arsenal hearts at Wembley in the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've only seen him in World Cups and when he played in European Cups and stuff like that, and he was incredible, absolutely incredible footballer. Straight into the A, mate, easily. A.
I agree with that. Batistuta was like, when we talk about timeless strikers, Gabriel Batistuta was one of them. He it's powerful, the finish, good in the air. He was the type of striker that made you appreciate that powerful number 9, the one who could score with the head, technique with neck muscles, like bang. When he rifles a shot in the back of the net, you think it's going to break the net. What a player! Just trying to pull up some stats there. 444 games, 245 goals, 34 assists. Unbelievable player. Argentinian legend, Gabriel Batistuta.
Honestly, players that we think should have played for our clubs. Gabriel Batistuta was a Man United player, mate. I always wanted him so badly.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, he's my favourite. He's from the Italian leagues of that era. Apart from Ronaldo, he's my favourite, Gabriel Batistuta. I love me some Batistuta. So
anyone
Christian
Champ.
Mate. Was that Christian Vieri? I've got there.
Christian Vieri.
Oh, is that a C? Or does he go in Crespo?
Australia, I think.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, Australia. Yeah. B. Christian Vieri in his prime was phenomenal. So I got B. Oh, I'm going to put this one on your doorstep, mate. I've got him on the border of BC. Where are you putting Christian Vieri?
I'm putting Christian Vieri in C.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm looking at these, and these are a touch above.
Yeah, I agree.
Christian Vieri was a very, very good striker, top striker, and I think I think it's fair to put him in the same bracket as Crespo and Fowler. I'm now looking at Dwight York, thinking maybe Dwight York should be in the A, but he just doesn't. It's the consistency.
Just not. Yeah. He's only. Yeah, it's just not. He ain't up there in the A's. Just about.
A player who I was in an advert with, David Trezeguet, another name drop there. Steve, David Trezeguet.
Yeah, David Trezeguet. He's in that that fantastic French World Cup side. Trezeguet. Yeah, he was. Again, I'm racking my brain. The type of player he was. I think he reminded very silky on the ball, very good on the ball. I can remember watching him World Cups, which is mainly when I saw him. Great touch. He used to see things that other sort of players of his like never saw. But he wasn't at that what I would call top level. Very Teddy Sheringham-ish. If that type of ilk, that type of player, same build, same sort of gangly frame.
I was going to say Adebayor because he's Adebayor popped up.
Yeah, that's a better. That's a better comparison. But yeah, I think when we're looking at this list, I think he just sneaks in the C for me.
I agree. However, the guy scored goals. Bad goals. He had that infamous partnership at Monaco with Thierry Henry as youngsters when Thierry Henry had the braids. I think I'm pushing B. I might be pushing B. When you look at his goals in the season, 20 goals a season, regular. Del Piero and Trezeguet. I think I'm going to override this one, Steve. I'm going for
B.
Yeah. Because, Gareth, did you have any input in that?
Yeah, I'm with you. But like he's on the cusp, BC. He's on the cusp. But the record for France is like I think I looked at a minute ago, it's like 34, 36 goals in like 70 games, and then the Juventus record alone is an incredible record. But I agree with Steve on the sort of player he was. But yeah, it's the BC level. It really is. But yeah, he gets in there for me to be.
Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. Just as you mentioned, Juventus record, 320 games, 174 goals, and 40 assists. Oof, yeah. For that, he goes to the B.
Yeah, the longevity might not be there
in Syria as well.
Yeah, but yeah, his Juventus career was incredible.
Yeah. Steve, you get Totti.
Cool, you're giving me one here. I just look, whether it's a personal thing, I just love this player. He's under that. Well, we may get to him, but he's up there with one of the most gifted technical footballers that possibly I've ever seen. So yeah, again, this might be favoritism speaking, but the times I used to watch him, I never used to watch a lot of Serie A, etc. But this is a guy. Whenever I knew I could get a chance to watch him, I just used to pan in, and what he used to do. He was one of these players that did things that a lot of these players that I can say on here couldn't do. He was incredible technically, one of the best. If you used to might want to put him in B, and I'd understand it, but for me, I've got to put him in A. I just love the player.
Over 500 goal contributions. Over 500 goal contributions in 785 games. This guy,
Steve, you had me scared, mate, for a minute when you were like, "Listen, it might just be a personal thing." I was like, "Don't."
As soon as he started saying that, I was like, "Nah, he's up there. He's putting him up there."
Don't be getting a goal like Totti, mate. It's the easiest A on the board, almost. Francesco Totti. He ain't quite a goal. Yeah, but yeah, he's an A all day, mate. He's an A all day, bruv.
Football fans, as Steve would say, the football connoisseur's player.
Yeah,
you appreciate what he does. When he was getting to sort of not even the latter stage of his career, it kind of felt like he maybe not adapted his game, but Roma just weren't as good, and he stuck by him and stayed there. He weren't scoring as many goals, but that's when I feel like you could appreciate his craft, the little touches, the flicks. He was so skillful, it's unbelievable. A similar ilk to Gianfranco Zola in the latter stage of his career, but he was a goal scorer early parts. And was it Del Vecchio, his partner? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
What's the next dude as well? His partner's in quite. He had Batistuta. He had but he also had the next fella, Vincenzo Montella.
Oh, Montella, yes. So yeah, that Totti goes in at A. What a player! And Totti rated Emil Heskey as well. So anyone remembers that old Fiat advert? Totti gave Heskey a little shout out, and they did a little thing on that, and they was like, "Yep, I thought I'd give Heskey a little shout out on that because he appreciated him as a player." And I was like, "Wow." Up next, Montella, Steve.
Montella on this list, he's in the D category. He's a fantastic footballer. He's right up there as one of the best. But yeah, it's a D. It's a D for Vincenzo Montella. Good goal record, but overshadowed by a lot of his era. The other players overshadowed by Inzaghi, overshadowed by Vieri, overshadowed by Batistuta. Like in the league, he played in and for the national team that he plays for. Like just overshadowed basically. But quality baller Vincenzo Montella, and a really good manager now as well. Really good manager.
Yeah. He's where is he at the moment?
Oh, do you know we put him on the spot? I saw him the other day play. Where is he? But I know he's doing well.
Real good manager. Where's he play? Yeah, where's he play?
No, manager. I know the other day he was talking about, but it was where was he club recently? Fiorentina, Milan. He did well there, if I remember correctly. So he's been in Italy, but yeah, Turkey. That's where I saw him the other day. Apparently, he's doing bits for him. So,
all right. Yeah, Montella goes D. I was saying the David Villa of Italy in the early 2000s. Is that Inzaghi? Is that Pippo Inzaghi?
Yeah, that's Pippo Inzaghi, bro. Good eyes. Look at the knowledge. Yes, sure.
I mean,
this is a player, weirdly, I didn't appreciate as much when I was younger. And then I was told when I went to, some of you may know, Protect, by those players there, like, you need to start appreciating Pippo Inzaghi. Yeah, the player. And,
yeah. He was a great player. He was a top player. Yeah, I'm going to put him. Oh, what's he up there? I'm going to put him in A. I'm putting him in A.
Do me a favour, Garth, pull up the goal record while I'm sorting this out. Yeah, Inzaghi was when we talk about Fox in the box, he was like probably one of the best foxes in the boxes. Him, Bruno Nistelrooy, Robbie Fowler, those players they knew where the goal was. They knew when they stood in positions, they knew what to do every single time. Very clever. Yeah, very, very good. Very, very, very good. And he played all the
just off of 313 goals in 681 games with 50 assists.
There we go. Pippo Inzaghi, where's he go? Sorry, A.
We're putting him in A. Fair play.
Oh, where did you put him, Steve?
No, he did. Yeah, A. Yeah.
Roberto Baggio. Don't get mistaken with the Dino Baggio, as we did when we were kids, probably. Just because we did.
I think Dino Baggio got mistaken.
You heard about the player before we probably saw him, like, because you did the Baggio 7, didn't you?
Baggio 7, boy.
Ush. Yes, the Baggio 7. One head, shoulder, knee, foot. If you could do that, you're getting pro, 100%. Where you put in Baggio, Garth?
Some people like Baggio in 2000. He's at the end of his career. I agree. He leaves Inter Milan in 2000, then goes to Brescia, Serie A team, and like Brescia are a low team in Serie A. Bags 46 goals in 101 games over 4 seasons for Brescia at the age that he was. I mean, Baggio could be in the GOAT. He could be up there. Roberto Baggio's one of them.
In the 2000s GOAT, though?
No, but this is the whole career. This is what we're saying. Like the whole career, he could be. He could be. But it's got to be A without a shadow of a doubt. I'd be interested to know what Steve thinks on whether he gets up into the next tier, but he's definitely A.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, what you got to say on Baggio?
Yeah, I mean, again, similar to what I said about, Totti, a player that just did things that nobody else could do. A player that just did things better than anybody else could do. A player that, some players you don't need stats. You watch them. A lot of these you don't need stats to watch them back in them days. But yeah, I mean, I can see what Garth's saying about that the GOAT, because is he in that category? Because players that, again, I could say GOAT level a little bit about Totti, because players that do things that others can't do, that we're at an age now we've seen no other players do them. I think they've got a shout to be put in a GOAT list. Do you know what I mean? That's a lot of years and a lot of football that we've watched, boys. Do you know what I mean? So probably A, but yeah, if there was an A plus, he'd be in it. So, but yeah, I'd agree with Garth.
A for Roberto Baggio. Steve, while you're here, Alessandro Del Piero. What a player. Should have got Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time, people. I mean, a lot of people out there watching tonight, they'll look at the Serie A and this crazy mad league that's not technically good. And you see, especially this last 2 seasons, you're seeing like 4-3s, 5-4s, and it's all over the place. And just the technique's not that good. This year we're talking about here, we're talking about like an incredible level with incredible players. And at one time during the 2000s, the Serie A was by far, for me, the best league in the world, defensively, midfielders, and forwards. They was excellent. And Alexander Del Piero was someone that stood out in it. Player that I love to watch. Again, just so technically gifted, so different from the Italian players like nowadays. You don't get them anymore. He was special, extremely special. Again, one of my favourite players of all time. And yeah, he's looking at who's in B. He's got to be A. He's got to be A. So for me, he goes in A.
Yeah, Alessandro Del Piero. Just again, like Steve was saying, it's the early years, or not early years, my earlier years in watching Italian football. And it was Italy had a lot of money in and around the 80s. Probably one of the most like money wise was like bigger than the Premier League. That's why you had all the best players go over there. That's why you had this follow on developing top Italian players as well, and coming through for years to come after that. Easily in the A category, Alessandro Del Piero.
Before we move on, I know we're running out of time. Can I make a case for GOAT for Alessandro Del Piero? Honestly, I think he is the best of that generation of strikers in Italy. I really do. I think Alessandro Del Piero for me is the best Italian player of all time. I think he is phenomenal. And you said he should have joined Arsenal. He should have joined Man United. Fergie tried to sign him 3 times, didn't he?
Yeah, no,
we nearly got him.
Wait.
We nearly got him as well. Yeah, we nearly got him, and then Juventus got done, didn't they? And they went down, and he said, "Listen, I can't leave because I've got to bring him back up." That's the sort of man he was. When Juventus got put down for their match fixing, it's like, I've got to stay. I can't do this to the fans. But for me, I'm just throwing it out there. I would have him top tier. Alessandro Del Piero, the best Italian. He's the best Italian player of all time. I'm going to put it out there.
The thing is, I'm looking at someone else in that A list, and I'm thinking, I'm arguing that I could argue that could be a GOAT.
Ruben Nistelrooy's not going in there, mate.
He's still at the bottom, mate. I'm talking about Samuel Eto'o.
I see it in there. Over Del Piero. I
don't know. Is it? Oh, you can only get 3 in there, can't you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, because it's 10%, we've got 32 names here. We could do 4 if you want. If you think Eto'o deserves to be in there, then I'm out with it. I just wanted. It was Steve's pick. I didn't know if Steve was being a bit. Didn't want to go too hardcore on him. I'm just throwing it out there and saying
Eto'o is possibly the greatest ever African player of all time. Now, if we're talking about that, and you talk about the people that are in that conversation, I think you're trying to go through them, aren't you?
No, I'm just.
I think there's an argument for him to be in that GOAT category. Clutch moments, the club he was at, Barcelona.
JJ Okocha is always the one I go to immediately when we're talking about best ever African players.
No,
so
I put Samuel Eto'o above
Salah.
Huh?
Above Mohamed Salah.
I put Eto'o above Salah.
All right, fair enough. I'm happy with A for Del Piero. I just wanted to make a case. That was all. I just wanted to make a case.
Just give it the big one. Yeah. Just show him your knowledge, your ball knowledge. I just want first choice, but I'd put him in the GOAT.
What's
the name?
Stump peg.
Stump peg. You're doing a stump peg on me. Yes. No, I think I would actually stick Del Piero in as the GOAT. Some of you may not appreciate his football, but I do.
Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute, mate. You're on mute. I don't know what you're saying.
I was probably giving it the big one as well.
I was going to say, it's like you're giving it some.
I did impressions and everything. So you're lucky. Yeah, we're just going to leave it as he didn't make the cut.
No.
Right? Steve, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Hey, just I know some people might, outside maybe us would put him in the B, but for me, he was a fantastic goal scorer, one of the best the Premier League's ever seen. And if I look at some of the ones who have we got in there, Michael Owen, and is that Andy Cole? He's up there with them. He's up there with them all day long, and he done it at every level. He done it at every club. So again, maybe a little bit of me liking his type of like that type of player, but yeah, for me, he walks in at A all day long.
Yeah, one thing I did see the other day.
Is he not in the goat? Is he not in the goat conversation?
Yes, out of it. One thing I did say the other day, and there was someone said Dutch players around that time were proper, like they were some of the best players in the world, but they also had that nasty streak. And I was going through it, and I was like, no, they did. They really did. Ruud van Nistelrooy, studs on Cole, Dennis Bergkamp. The amount of times I see Dennis Bergkamp drop a stamp, like a little cheeky.
Overmars weren't no shrinking violet either. Mark Overmars weren't no shrinking violet at all.
Bergkamp loved a little shoulder, a little elbow. Like he had a nasty streak in him, and he needed that. He goes in the 8. It's not even a question. Is that Luke Nillis?
Luke Nillis, great knowledge, Stuart. Love that. Now this is a for people who are a bit like, what, the Aston Villa dude who broke his leg? Yes, that dude.
We were well excited about him coming over
because he was. I look at his goal record while I'm talking, mate. Honestly, it's incredible. His goal record. When he was at PSV, he was at PSV with Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was classed as the better player. That was the player that everyone wanted to watch. He was phenomenal. He really was. Some people might be like, "What? He's B." Luke Nillis is B. You need to go and watch a bit of Luke Nillis. Honestly, if you've not watched his highlights, I know it's not much you can do now. He had everything about his game, everything. No joke. Honestly, phenomenal player, real phenomenal player.
Yeah, it was a real shame when he came to the Premier League because I was excited because he comes to the latter stage of his career as well. Yeah. So we weren't really expecting much, but you ain't coming back from that broken leg, especially at his age.
No. It was such a bad. That's a bad one, mate. That was the
worst leg break you've ever seen.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it. That was like Steve Bust level, disgusting leg break.
Are you putting him?
I've got him at B. 541 games, 311 goals, 66 assists. So 377 goal contributions in 541 games.
All right.
Incredible stats.
And last, but by no means least, the Dutch wizard, the magician, the Iceman, they called him, Dennis Bergkamp.
What can I say about Dennis Bergkamp that I ain't already said, many times? For me, he'd walk into the GOAT. He's for me, he's the one of the greatest the Premier League players that's ever seen. I remember when I first watched him, and I've watched football many years before he come over, and my jaw just nearly hit the ground with things like, who is this player? What is this? What is he doing? And he was that good. I used to try and copy him when I used to go and play. Do you know what I mean? And try and do the things he does. He sees things that other players couldn't do. Playing for his country, for Holland, he was world class. Playing for Arsenal, he was world class. Score goals, make goals, just do things that just players just can't do. not haven't done, and just an incredible training ethic, just never stopped. Always thought he could get better. 10 great years that I watched him. And if it was someone, when it comes to me picking out my highlight and my footballing life and what it is, I think it would be watching Dennis Bergkamp. So I'm tempted to put him in with the goats. Like I'm tempted to put Del Piero in with the goats and Totti in with the goats. Maybe we should put the whole 5 of them in with the goats, because for me, Dennis
I can
Bergkamp.
see what you're doing.
Bergkamp is for me, and I'm not saying that there's other players, personally that I've seen live. He is the greatest player I've ever seen live, that I've watched live, and that's better than Thierry Henry. I'm not saying over a certain amount of time or that Thierry Henry is better and what he's won and stuff, but Thierry Henry has said to himself that if I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Dennis Bergkamp. So for me, he's on the edge of the goats, but that's massively a personal opinion. But look, I'm going to put him in A, because I don't think he's going to reach that level of Ronaldo or Henry for you. But for me, he goes in A. But because he was that, to me, he was that good.
For me, it's there. It's there. It might even be there. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's there. Do you know what I mean? He's giving advice to these two. Can you imagine that? Front three. Unbelievable. He gets there. And when you look at the rest of that list, it's a phenomenal list. Do you know what I mean? Probably possibly most like a Totti type player, but not even like a Totti, because he was different. He was different from anyone we've got on that list, really. Even just the way he carried himself, like he was very, very straight, like he brought around with a brace all his life. He was just like, but his footwork was phenomenal. His vision, like this is what annoys me. Yeah, this is what annoys me. Steve was talking from the heart there. Yeah, when you talk about people like Dennis Bergkamp, these kids, they will say things like he's only rated by Arsenal players, or by Arsenal fans. What, mate?
As a Man United fan, I can assure you that that's wrong. Dennis Bergkamp's goal catalogue is incredible. So if any of these kids now are saying it's just it's nostalgia, no, mate. Has there ever been a more delicious goal, like just pure skill, than this one for Holland? Who was it against, with the little touch? And then he did the same thing for Arsenal as well, didn't he, against Newcastle? Little touch round the corner. Leicester. Listen,
don't worry, mate, I know all them goals. He got 3 goals in the goal of the month. Yeah. In that one game, from one game.
Could it volleys? It's a shame he couldn't fly, really, because otherwise he might have gone a bit further in some European competitions back in the day.
If you weren't, what I mean? Why he doesn't fly? Just Google it.
Yeah. But I was waiting for this last one, and I thought you both would have put him in the GOAT. If you've done it because you're like, we're Arsenal fans, we're going to leave, we're not going to go overboard. I'm not going to hold it against you if you bang him up there. I'm really not. He was one of the best footballers to ever play ball. The only thing I'll say is what Steve was already saying. If he's going in there, then for me, Del Piero's got to go in there as well. I think they were pretty on a very similar level. I really do. So, yeah. He's done it. He's done his job. Yeah, honestly, you don't need to be bashful about it. Dennis Bergkamp's one of the best players to ever do it. Now, his record might not be up there with the other ones, but he was a forward back when he played 2 up front. He was a deep line forward long before that was a real thing. A deep line forward, like the AM centre striker. But yeah, look, phenomenal player. Before we bow out here, I'm going to give you, because as we go through, there's a couple I've forgotten, so I'm going to throw them at you and just give them your. We ain't got the pictures, but your ratings for them, bruv. Miroslav Klose.
Oh, I think he goes on the C. It sounds crazy. Yeah. It sounds crazy, but international, you're talking like GOAT status international, but then you've got league, he bagged goals. This is not saying he don't make goals, he bagged goals, but he weren't there, he weren't in that conversation with the best in domestic league. But C, and he belongs on the list. He belongs on the list.
Yeah, because I forgot to look at Germany. Oliver Bierhoff.
Similar to, he's a clutch man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Similar to Close. I think he goes in similar to Close. He goes in the C.
He's just a little bit higher for me. He's a BC, but he's a C. He's a definite C.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer, the biggest omission here.
Alan Shearer goes in the A. I think he's underrated. His goal scoring record is like it speaks for itself, and he's underrated. Like again, people think he was from the era of 2 pints of lager and a packet of fags at half time. He wasn't. He was an athlete, and he started off his career. I think he started off on the wing when he was at Southampton, moved to centre forward. Bought by Blackburn Rovers, won the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers. Chris Sutton, SAS Strike Force, absolutely phenomenal, those two. And then went to Newcastle and was just an absolute machine. ACL injury, which ruled him out for a full year, still top goal scorer in the Premier League. Went 2 years without scoring for England, came back and was top goal scorer in the Euro 96. Great player. He goes in A for me.
And then 3 that have spent time at Arsenal for you. First of all, one that I should have put in because I should have got some Scottish League representation. John Hartson.
Oh, I like John Hartson. Welsh international, big bully. Left Arsenal probably at the right time, I would say. Was it to Wimbledon, 7 mil?
West Ham.
Was it West Ham? West Ham went to.
Got a really good record for Arsenal though. Like a really good record.
It was good in the air. It was good in the air. It was in between the was it Bruce Rioch and Wenger era. It was that time, I think it was. Good player, really good player, and he scored goals. I like him. He goes in D for me because I'm hoping you're going to say Henrik Larsson.
Henrik Larsson was the next one.
I think Henrik Larsson goes in the B. Again, grossly underrated because he was in Scotland, but he showed at Man United what a type of player he was. Showed at Barcelona the level of player that he actually was. Great goal scorer, underrated. He goes in B.
And then last 2, one for you. It was his last season. Ian Wright. Steve's face as well. Look at that. Oh.
Mate, Ian Wright goes in A for me. I don't care. I'll fight you. Ian Wright goes in A for me. Honestly, he was the reason why I supported Arsenal. Him and Paul Merson probably started watching Arsenal, saw Ian Wright, and then was drawn in by Paul Merson pretty quickly. What a player! Like just in front of goal, just a clinical. Again, I think he's underrated.
Ian Wright's underrated.
He's unks, mate. Like he's an Arsenal legend. Should have played much more for England. Just a great player, and he wasn't just like a goal scorer in terms of tap-ins and stuff like that. He created goals. He was goal scored from outside the box. Had that dink. Like he was like a European type striker. He weren't like a classic English striker. And again, rated amongst Europe, probably more so than in the Premier League than what we realise. And then there was the last one was out for Steve.
Well, the last one, yeah. I mean, does Steve want to give his 2 pence on Ian Wright? The last one's Nicholas Anelka. Yeah, Steve, Ian Wright, Nicholas Anelka. What do you got them to?
Ian Wright. What did Kieran put him in A? Oh. There's a lot of players in there. I first thoughts for me was straight in A, but I look at the players that are in A, and I think there's a lot of players A that, yeah, you're a great goal scorer, Ian, but you're not that level, mate. So I'm tempted with B. He's in like similar to the Bergkamp one. He's like going up to the A and sneaking into the B. Who you got in there? Michael Owen and Ian Wright. Yeah, I can see, but go on. Nostalgia will get it. I'll go A for Wright. I
think he gets into A. I do think he gets into A. And
Nicholas Anelka. I mean, he obviously didn't score. I don't think he scored many goals for Arsenal. I think he did for for one season. I think over the time he was there, he scored about 40 goals. Chelsea, he did well, but they did all right. He was an incredible player. He had an incredible skill. Some of the stuff I used to see him, watch him live, was unbelievable. Yeah, technically, I think technically you'd put him in A, but you can't. So I think I'd put him. Oh, dear me. I think I put him in C.
Nicolas Anelka. For the player that he was, he's an A-level player. He's an A-level player in my eyes. If you're talking about the things that he did, maybe A still. Because if you actually look at his trophy haul, Champions League winner. Never won the league, did he? But he won it abroad. Or did he win the league with Chelsea? Definitely won the Champions League with Chelsea.
There's a lot of players.
Arsenal.
Oh, he did. He would have won the league with Arsenal. What are we talking about?
Yeah, he won the league with Arsenal.
What are we talking about? Of course, he won the league with Arsenal.
He got his 2 times.
Yeah, no, he goes in A. He goes in A. He goes in A.
He's a one-time Champions League winner with Real Madrid.
Two-time league. Two-time league. Yeah.
Yeah, once with Chelsea, once with Arsenal. Yeah, I've got him BA. I've got on that cusp, but yeah, it's there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm sure there's someone I've forgotten, people. You know, I did this on. The missus was watching Strictly, and I knocked this together out of nowhere. So let's definitely go. So if you think of anyone, get in the comments. Let me know. We'll give them the ranking. Don't worry. You know what I mean. The ranking will go on there.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, there's no Les Ferdinand. There's no big dunk.
And we'll do another one later on, 2010s. That era, there's some excellent strikers in there, and I'm sure some of you lot can get involved. And maybe we'll do a midfielder one later on in the 2000s as well, because there's plenty of them to talk about. All right, we need to go to bed basically, because it's been a 2.5 hour show. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, boys.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties, people. Maybe sometimes there's been a bit of a issue with the sound. Hopefully that's not been too jarring. Hit that like and subscribe if you are new to the show. If you are a regular, press that like and press that share button. Don't even have to share it. Just press the paperclip. It makes a difference. If you are on TikTok, make sure you go and follow Kieran, AFC, and the Transfer Exchange Show. Plenty of content on there. I do lives as well. And go and follow Below the Line Media as well if you like film, movies, and TV shows. All right, thanks for joining us tonight, boys. All right, peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.